Welcome to Episode 1, a deep dive into the storied history of the Alabama Crimson Tide football program, a name associated with excellence, tradition, and an unwavering pursuit of championships. For generations, the Crimson Tide has captivated fans, setting benchmarks for success in college football.
And in this episode, we will journey through the team's origins, celebrate their numerous titles, meet their iconic mascot, explore their legendary stadium, honor the coaches and players who built this dynasty, and relive their most historic moments and rivalries.
We will attempt to immerse you in the unique game day experience that makes Tuscaloosa a pilgrimage for football enthusiasts everywhere.
All right, so now the University of Alabama's first collegiate football game was held on November 11th in 1892. They played their inaugural game in Birmingham at Lakeview Park.
This means that the program has been playing for 133 years as of 2025. Their first game was a resounding success, a 56-0 victory over a hand-picked team from Professor Taylor's school and Birmingham high schools.
Now, in the early days of football at Alabama were not without challenges. In 1896, the university's Board of Trustees briefly passed a rule forbidding athletic teams from traveling off campus, leading to only one game in 1897 and a complete abandonment of the program in 1898.
However, strong student opposition to the ruling led to the ban being lifted and football resumed in 1899, continuing uninterrupted until World War I forced a cancellation in 1918.
And originally, the team was just known as the varsity or Crimson White, rejecting the school colors, and the iconic Crimson Tide nickname would be coined by sports editor Hugh Roberts of the Birmingham Age Herald during a 1907 game against heavily favored Auburn.
The game was played in a sea of red mud, and Alabama, despite being outmatched, held Auburn to a 6-6 tie. Roberts described the team's resilience in the mud as a crimson tide,
referring to an unstoppable, relentless, and resilient natural phenomenon that can push through any obstacle, and even when conditions are unfavorable.
just like Alabama. Alabama first gained national recognition in 1922 by defeating the University of Pennsylvania 9-7 in Philadelphia. This was a significant step for a Southern football program.
3 years later, in the 1925 season under coach Wallace Wade, Alabama would have their first undefeated and untied season, earning them their first Rose Bowl invitation.
This led to their first claimed national championship.
Speaking of claimed championships, Alabama has over 18 national championships. 13 are from the wire service, the AP or college or coaches, and that's part of the poll era. And then they also have 5 that are from the pre-poll era.
So the years that they claimed national titles were 1925, 1926, 1930, 1934, 1941, 1961, 1964, 1965, 1973, 1978, 1979, 1992, 2009, 2011, 2012, 2015, 2017, and 2020.
Alabama was also retrospectively selected as national championship by at least one NCAA recognized major selector in an additional 5 seasons, being 1945, 1966, 1975, 1977, and 2016. But these are not claimed by the university.
They also have a great bowl game record. The number of bowl games they've won is 78 postseason bowl appearances with the NCAA, which is a record.
They also have an NCAA record of over 46 victories in these bowl games, with an overall record of 46, 29, and 3, representing a 0.609 winning percentage.
One of these victories, the 2005 Cotton Bowl win against Texas Tech, was later vacated due to an NCAA ruling. Alabama's record-setting number of bowl game appearances and victories signifies more than just individual game wins.
It points to sustained program excellence and national relevance over a century of play.
It's unbelievable. Alabama has won also a total of 34 conference championships, consisting of 4 Southern Conference or SoCon titles and 30 Southeastern Conference or SEC championships. Their the only program to win an SEC title in every decade since the conference formed in 1933.
Alabama also leads the SEC with the most SEC titles, as well as winning the most SEC championship games since the game's inception in 1922 with 11 wins.
The most recent SEC title was in 2023, a narrow 27-24 win over Georgia.
And the official mascot of Alabama Crimson Tide is an elephant named Big Al. And the association of an elephant with the team began in the early 1930s when sports writer Everett Strupert wrote, "Hold your horses, the elephants are coming," and out came the Alabama varsity.
A real elephant became the university's unofficial mascot in the 1930s and was initially called Alamite.
It was not until 1979 that the university officially would give us our favorite elephant, Big Al.
The Big Al costume was first officially worn in 1980, which made its debut at the Sugar Bowl when Alabama played against Arkansas.
And the official fight song of the Crimson Tide is Yay Alabama. Its lyrics capture the competitive spirit and regional pride of the program.
I'm not going to sing it, but I'll tell you what it is. Yay Alabama, drown 'em Tide. Every Bama man's behind you, hit your stride. Go teach the Bulldogs to behave, send the Yellow Jackets to a watery grave. And if a man starts to weaken, that's a shame, for Bama's pluck and grit have writ her name in crimson flame. Fight on, fight on, fight on, men. Remember the Rose Bowl, we'll win then. So roll on to victory, hit your stride, your Dixie's football pride. Crimson Tide, roll tide, roll tide.
And this song is played by the nationally recognized the $1 Million Band marching band, which got its nickname in 1922 after a 33-7 loss. A reporter, W.C. Champs Pickens, responded to a question about the team's poor performance by saying Alabama had a $1 Million Band.
The band is one of the most famous in the country and has appeared on more television shows than any other college band, further amplifying the university's brand.
Roll Tide is a ubiquitous saying that is more than just a cheer. It is a greeting, a farewell, and an expression of solidarity amongst Alabama fans.
It is related to the team's crimson uniforms and the powerful surging nature of the Crimson Tide itself.
Rammer Jammer is a traditional post-victory chant, though its full version, "We're gonna beat the hell out of you," was briefly banned in the early 2000s for sportsmanship reasons, before the post-game version was reinstated due to fan backlash.
Those fans love their songs. Other beloved traditions include the Elephant Stomp, where fans gather on the steps of Gorga's Library to listen to the $1 Million Band, watch the Crimsonese, and sometimes interact with our favorite elephant, Big Al.
And before each home game, coaches and the players are dropped off at the Walk of Champions, a pathway lined by cheering fans as the team makes its way to the locker room.
Fans often wear houndstooth patterned clothing as a tribute to legendary coach Paul Bear Bryant's trademark houndstooth hat.
And since 1947, the previous season's captain imprint their hands and feet in cement slabs at the base of Denny Chimes, a tradition known as the Walk of Fame that has over 172 players represented.
Some of the most memorable games and plays in Crimson Tide history include the 1926 Rose Bowl versus Washington win. It's a 2019 victory. This stunning upset over a West Coast powerhouse secured Alabama's first national championship and established them as an elite team. During that game, Johnny Mack Brown's 2 long receptions were pivotal.
The 1985 Iron Bowl, the kick. Van Tiffin's legendary 52-yard field goal in the final seconds gave Alabama a dramatic 2-point victory over Auburn.
Amazing. 1993, Sugar Bowl versus Miami, a 34-13 victory, known for George Teague's game-changing strip of Lamar Thomas, often called the strip sack or the strip, that solidified Alabama's national championship that year.
2009 versus Tennessee, the Rocky Block. Terrence Cody blocked 2 potential game-winning field goals in the final moments, securing a crucial win.
That's a great thing to watch on YouTube. In 2018, the college football playoffs national championships versus Georgia, second and 26. Tua Tagovailoa's game-winning touchdown pass to Devontae Smith in overtime secured Alabama's 17th national championship.
And lastly, 1905 versus the American College of Medicine and Surgery of Chicago, 142-0 victory. Alabama's greatest offensive performance, scoring over 27 touchdowns in just 33 minutes.
Let's get into the Tide's fiercest foes. Who are their rivals?
We'll start off with their biggest rival, the Auburn Tigers in the Iron Bowl. This is arguably the most heated rivalry in college football, dating all the way back to 1893, and it is an in-state rivalry between the two charter members of the SEC.
Alabama leads the series 51-37 and with one tie, and has dominated recently with an 8-2 record over the last 10 meetings and a current 5-game winning streak since 2020.
Now, the Iron Bowl got its name not only from Birmingham's industrial history, and was also coined by Ralph Jordan in 1964. And
the intensity of this rivalry is next level and stems from its in-state nature, dividing families and communities alike.
The fact that both teams have consistently also been among the nation's elite makes this rivalry go beyond just conference standings.
Another big rivalry for Alabama is against the Tennessee Volunteers. They play the third Saturday in October. It's another historic rivalry named because of its traditional game date, which dates all the way back to 1901. Alabama holds a 60-39-8 advantage and an 8-2 record over the last 10 meetings.
Another big rivalry is the LSU Tigers. Well, without an official name, this is a premier annual matchup known for its high-profile and physical games. The series dates back to 1895, with Alabama leading 57-27-5 and an 8-2 record since 2015.
It also happens to be the very first game that you and I went to in Tuscaloosa was against LSU. Another fierce rivalry is against the Georgia Bulldogs. It's a rivalry that has really intensified in recent years due to the high-stakes national championship meetings they've been having. Alabama leads the series, 44 wins, 26 losses, and 4 ties, and has a dominant 9-1 record dating back to 2008.
Wow. Another one is the Florida Gators. Many prominent contests, especially in the SEC championship games, and Alabama leads that one 29-14 and has an 8-game winning streak since 2009.
Some other rivalries include Clemson, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Penn State.
Now, Alabama's storied history is defined by a succession of legendary coaches who have built and maintained its football dynasty.
Let's start with the big name of Mr. Paul Bear Bryant. From 1958 till 1982, he's arguably the most iconic coach in Alabama football history. He led Alabama for 25 years, winning 6 national championships in 1961, 1964, 65, 73, 78, and 79.
He retired as the all-time winningest coach in college football with over 323 victories. His teams played in 24 straight bowl games. And he was
so popular in Alabama that approximately 5,000 people attended his funeral in 1983.
Wow. The most recent great, Nick Saban, from 2007 to 2023, ushered in the modern era of the program and would lead them to 6 national championships in 2009, 2011, 12, 2015, 2017, 2020, and he would equal Bear Bryant's record.
Under Saban, Alabama won an astounding 90% of its games since 2008 and secured 9 SEC titles. Interestingly, he is also the most winningest coach of national championships with 7, and he won a national championship at LSU and was the first coach to win titles with 2 different FBS schools.
And then Wallace Wade, from 1923 to 1930, he was instrumental in Alabama's early national recognition. He coached Alabama to its first undefeated season in Rose Bowl Invitation in 1925, and he would eventually go on to secure another 2 in 1926 and 1930, and he is one of 3 coaches with 3 unbeaten seasons at Alabama.
Frank Thomas coached from 1931 to 1946 and continued the program's success, winning 4 national championships in 1934, 1941, 1943, and 1945. Through the 1943 and 45 titles are not always claimed by the university. He had 3 unbeaten seasons in 1934, 36, and 1945.
And then there's Gene Stallings, who led Alabama to a national championship in 1992, marking a significant achievement in the post-Bear Bryant era.
The home of the Crimson Tide is Saban Field at Bryant Denny Stadium, located in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The stadium currently has an official seating capacity of 101,821 people.
And it opened in 1929 as Denny Stadium with an initial capacity of 12,000 seats. And it is currently rated the 10th largest stadium in the world.
Amazing. Alabama has also sent numerous players to the NFL, with many achieving significant success. Some prominent names include
Joe Namath, also known as Broadway Joe. He is the legendary quarterback who led the Jets to a Super Bowl victory. And he was also the MVP of the first 3 Super Bowls.
Bart Starr, also a quarterback who led the Green Bay Packers to 5 NFL championships and 2 Super Bowl titles, earning MVP honors in Super Bowls 1 and 2.
Some Heisman Trophy winners include Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Devontae Smith, and Bryce Young.
Some other notable NFL players is Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Minka Fitzpatrick, Jonathan Allen, Marlon Humphrey, Josh Jacobs, Will Anderson Jr., Quinnen Williams, Patrick Surtain II, Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts, Ken Stabler, John Hanna, Ozzie Newsome, Derek Thomas, and Cornelius Bennett.
Alabama is represented by 25 players and coaches in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Some of these players include Cornelius Bennett, Johnny Mack Brown, Johnny Kane, Sylvester Croom, Harry Gilmer, John Hanna, Dixie Howell, Allison Pooley-Hubert, Don Hudson, Leroy Jordan, E.J. Jr., Antonio Langham, and Woodrow Lowe.
As well as Marty Leons, Von Macha, Johnny Musso, Billy Neighbors, Ozzie Newsome, Fred Singleton, Riley Smith, Derek Thomas, and Don Whitmore.
That's a lot. Some of the coaches in the Hall of Fame include Paul Bear Bryant, Gene Stallings, Frank Thomas, and Wallace Wade. Nick Saban will be added to the Hall of Fame in 2025.
Alabama has also 8 former players inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
This includes John Hanna, Don Hudson, Joe Namath, Ozzie Newsome, Kenny Stabler, Bart Starr, Dwight Stevenson, and Derek Thomas.
While primarily known for football, some Alabama alumni have also achieved fame in other fields.
Some notable alumni include Jim Nabors, the actor, singer, and comedian famous for playing Gomer Pyle on The Andy Griffith Show.
As well as Bernie Madoff, the financier and convicted fraudster, and he was known for running the world's largest Ponzi scheme, and he attended it for his freshman year before he transferred.
Jimmy Wales, co-founder of Wikipedia.
As well as Marilyn Houston, who is a businesswoman and served as chairman, president, and CEO of Lockheed Martin.
Vicki Hullab, businesswoman, president, and CEO of Occidental Petroleum, the first woman to head a major American oil company.
Wow. And also Robert Van de Graaff he's the physicist who is known for inventing the Van de Graaff generator.
E.O. Wilson, the entomologist and 2-time Pulitzer Prize-winning author.
Now, our favorite part about football in Alabama is the good old tailgating. And Alabama has a vibrant and deeply ingrained tradition of some good tailgating at its home game weekends.
The campus is beautiful and people are everywhere. The Quad, which is a geographic and historic center of the university's campus, transforms into a sea of tents, camping chairs, TVs, barbecues, and lots of games.
Now, the fans will often stake out their spots as early as Friday mornings for the free tailgating spots, and they are available on a first-come, first-served basis on the west side of the Quad.
For those seeking a more premium experience, Game Day Done Right is the university's official tailgate services partner, offering reserved spaces, equipment, and catering on the Quad.
Now, the atmosphere is electric, sociable, and multi-generational, with fans sharing traditions and building a great community.
I want to share some more cool stats. They had the longest winning streak in their history of 28 games between 1978 and 1980. And they have a home game winning streak that they boast of 57 games won between 1963 and 1982.
And then, so from its humble beginnings in 1892 to its current status as a perennial national powerhouse, the Alabama Crimson Tide football program has forged a legacy defined by unparalleled success, deep-rooted traditions, and unyielding spirit.
With 18 claimed national championships, a record number of bowl appearances and victories, and a consistent stream of Hall of Fame talent, Alabama has not just won games, it has shaped the very fabric of college football.
The Crimson Tide's legacy extends beyond wins and losses. It encompasses a commitment to academic integrity, a rich tapestry of iconic symbols, and a history of sustained, almost unbelievable on-field dominance. It has a mystique that few programs can rival, and the Crimson Tide is more than a team. It's a cultural institution, a symbol of excellence, and a testament to the enduring power of tradition in American sports.
Roll Tide! Join us next episode as we dive into the history of another powerhouse, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And please, don't forget to leave a comment, a like, and if you really enjoyed this episode, subscribe and please recommend to all your friends. Until next episode, have a great one.